What's going on, TTM? Well, great draft, everybody. Had some fireworks, lots of crazy stuff happening, I guess, but that's the way it is. Hopefully, everybody out there in Colorado is enjoying the snow. Maybe at this point, you're not after 5 feet of snow. I don't know. We don't have snow where I'm at here. Anyway, I don't have a draft video yet, but I do have our minor league ranking system. So I hope y'all are ready for that. I'll go in order from 12th, the worst team, to number 1. So hope you're not shoveling snow, because I'm sure as hell not. So let's go. All right. Worst minor league team out there. 12th place. Oh, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you their best player, each team's best player, your worst player, and one person I think you should watch because he might have a really good season and shoot up some lists. Anyway, without further ado, 12th place, Rooster, Warney's leg spin. Your best player is Matt Shaw. You have a bunch of guys that are 16, 17 years old that are very unknown. They might look good on paper, but that's a complete unknown, so they don't get very high scores in my book. Your worst player is Morales, just one of those young guys. I had to pick a worst guy, so he was the one. 16, 17, I don't know how old he is. A player to watch, yeah, you think you took this guy last year, Chase DeLauder. I think he's on the Reds. He's got some potential, so I think that guy could have a really good year. And then another reason your team is not so highly ranked, you only have 2 guys that should probably contribute to your big league team, Mason Miller and maybe Colton Cowser. So that's it. You don't have a ton of top 100 guys, so sorry, Rooster, you're 12th. And I just spent way too much time on you. This is gonna take a lot. This is gonna be a 20-minute video. God damn. 11th place, hats for bats. Why are you in 11th place? Your best player, Junior Caminero, is a badass. I love this guy's power. Top 5 prospect, gonna be in the big leagues this year, performing for your team. Your worst player, Elijah Green. He hasn't been hitting. He's not a good hitter. He came out with a lot of hype, but he just hasn't done much. I'm gonna say Ramir Arias. I don't know if this guy's brother to your other guy you drafted this year, Roderick Arias. But I think this guy's a 5-tool guy potentially. He's super young. I want to say he's 17, but I think he was only in Dominican League last year, but showed out pretty well. As far as guys that are going to give your team some benefits this year, Francisco Alvarez, catcher Mets, or Orelvis Martinez, the aforementioned Caminero, and possibly even Rodriguez might give your team, Eduardo Rodriguez might give your team a little boost this year. Your other guy, Crawford, I think Carl Crawford's kid, was your first round pick. We'll see how that guy is. I like him. He's got definitely potential. So, hats for bats, got you in 11th. 10th place, D's Dominators, Schaefer. Your team's taken quite the hits over the last couple of years because you had a bunch of guys graduate and are no longer eligible. You took Roman Anthony as your first round pick this year out of the Red Sox organization. Again, this guy's got lots of tools. I think his power needs to come around a little bit more, but other than that, I think he's gonna be a really good player. I have him as your best player. Your worst player is, I think his name is Eric Bitonti. You took him, I don't know, super late this draft. I don't really know a whole lot about him. I don't think he hit very well from what I saw. Maybe he had a good OBP, but very young, so still has time, I guess. I had to pick somebody, so that's who I picked. A player to watch, Yanquiel Fernandez. I think he's mostly top, around 50-ish or so would probably most list on the Rockies. But I like this guy. I think he's a good hitter, got some good power. Another guy on your team, or 2 other guys on your team. Oh, Yanquiel could make it to the big leagues this year and help your team out. Potentially, it's a little stretch, but I guess it's possible. Brady House, I think, has a good shot to be on the team with the Nationals because they just are not very good. Victor Scott, number 2. Dude has tons of speed. I think he stole 90-something bases last year in the minors. I think he's on the Cardinals. Oh man, I get all this stuff confused, and I've been drinking too. So he's on the Cardinals, but I think he's got a shot to make the opening day roster if I'm not mistaken. Those guys could help your team out this year. As for 9th place, I took my team at 9th place, Margaritas. My best pick is the guy that somehow fell to me in the draft, Ethan Salas. Don't know how he even fell to me. 17-year-old catcher, Padres. My worst pick, Jose Perdomo, young guy on the Braves, I think he is. 16, who knows? It could be good, it could be horrible. We'll see what happens, but he's my worst. As for my watch guy, I put Leisure only because, well, I mean, I think if he could be, I think he's got a tremendous arm, 100-mile-per-hour plus fastball. Does not play with the best team. That team's going to win like 60 games. So, and they're a bunch of banged up guys in the White Sox, so I think he has a shot. Anyway, on my team, Tyler Black, Brewers could be called up. Owen or Ryan Keckering, I know he was drafted illegally, so he'll obviously, I think, be in the bigs. Leisure, I already mentioned. Sanga's hurt, but obviously already pitched last year. Where Julian and Cristiano Canocio Strand. So my team's got big league guys that are going to help this year, but as far as top-notch guys, it's Solace, and that's about it. 8th place, the whole enchilada. Your first-round pick, Max Clark, nice high school kid. Didn't hit as well as I thought he was going to coming out, but it is small sample size, 20 games or less or whatever it was. Anyway, your best player, Yuri Perez. Pitched in the big leagues last year, is going to pitch again this year, obviously. So this guy's got amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. I really like him. I mean, a lot of people had Grayson Rodriguez as your other pitcher, who's better, but I like Yuri Perez better. That's just my opinion. Your worst player is Miguel Bleis. I thought this guy had a lot of potential last year, but then he had a terrible year. Just didn't really hit, didn't hit a lot of power. I don't know, took a big step back. So he needs to take another step forward, not backwards. One more step back and he's cut. Your second round pick this year was Aiden Miller. I think he's the one to keep a watch on for you. Good speed, you can hit, get on base, good OBP. Needs to get a little more power. We'll see if that can come or not, but we'll see. Anyway, you took James MacArthur on the Royals. He was a legal pick. He'll be helping your team out. We've mentioned Rodriguez and Perez. Andy Pages, or Pages, but I think pretty sure it's Pages, is on the Dodgers, so he should make the bigs, but he's on a team that is full of really good players and probably want to get him at bats in the minors, not sitting the pine in the bigs. Tyler Soderstrom should play for the A's, so those guys should all help your team out. 7th best minor league system, Chalupa. We got you. We got the all-name team because you have names just coming out every which angle. Your best player, obviously Ellie De La Cruz. I think that guy is a 40-40 potential guy. I don't know if he can hit. He didn't hit last year very well, but he showed off some electric tools. Super fast, hits the ball really hard, so yeah. Your worst player is Davison De Los Santos. Man, there's a lot of names in these guys. Diamondbacks, first base, maybe outfield, I don't know. Big power dude. Didn't hit the ball for crap last year, but did hit like 20-something bombs, so there's that. Your watch guy, Brock Wilken. Massive dude. I think this guy's like 6'6", 6'7". He's big Milwaukee Brewer guy. I mean, this guy has potential to hit like 25, 30, 35 home runs in the minors. It gets to the big leagues, that could go to 40 home runs. So he's got all kinds of power potential. Can he hit? We'll see. Other than Ellie De La Cruz and Gabriel Moreno, you really don't have a lot that's going to boost your team this year. So hopefully you draft it well. In 6th place, we have Packing Heat, Klecker. Your best pick is your first-round pick in Dylan Cruz. I mean, I think he was number 2 overall to Skeens last year. This guy is an absolute stud hitter, I think. I think he's a bona fide 300 hitter easily. It all depends on his power. Is he going to be like a 20, 25 home run guy, or can he get to that 30 to maybe 35, even beyond home runs? I don't know if he has got that potential. I think 30 a couple years in his career is definitely potential, though. So, by far your best player. Your worst, Marco Luciano. I don't know. This guy strikes out a ton. He just doesn't hit for average. His power's nice, but it's not exceptional. I don't see on the Giants. It's plays in a shitty park. I gotta say, he's your worst player. The one to watch, I have U.S. Cabrera. I think that guy could be a big boost this year if he has a good year. I mean, anybody can do that, I guess, but I expect this guy to have a really good year. As for guys that are going to potentially give your team help this year, we have the aforementioned Cruz. Manzardo just got traded to the Guardians or wherever he's at now, so he should have playing time now. Luciano, he should have playing time. Same with Matos, his teammate. Novelli Marte is suspended for 80 games, but after that, as long as he doesn't fail another drug test, which hey, you never know with these guys, he should be back by the middle of the year. What is that, July? Vidal Brujan, Tampa Bay, should be up. Michael Busch just got traded from the Dodgers to the Cubs. He should be playing a lot with the Cubs. Jackson Merrill on the Padres, I think, has a shot to make at least a little bit of impact this year. Maybe not a ton, but a little bit. So you got a ton of guys that are going to be playing in the big leagues this year. So you're going to really see what your team's made of. Yep, you're in 6th place. In 5th place, I got Sacrifice Blunts, the Crooms. Your best player, Jackson Chourio, who you took last year. Stud, top 5 guy, just signed a $80 million deal, or I don't know what it was. It was worth a lot, and he hadn't even had an at-bat in the big, so okay. Your worst player, Jung Ho Lee. I mean, he's going to give you at-bats this year for the Giants. I don't think he's going to be a Yoshida-type player like last year. It all depends on what this guy hits. He hits 260, 270, okay, that's worth it, but if he hits like 230, 240, I don't know. Not much power, maybe limited speed. We'll see what he can do. One to keep a watch is Rhett Lauder. This guy would have been the top 5 pick in any other draft, maybe top 3 pick even. But this draft was just so loaded. This guy was ACC Pitcher of the Year, 2nd best college pitcher next to Skeen. So, yeah, I think this guy has potential to have a great year. Did not make his debut last year, makes it this year. And I'm thinking big things. Guys that will help you out this year, Kroom, that Jung Ho Lee, Jacob Mizorowski, and I want to say he is on the Brewers. If he's on the Brewers, where Devin Williams just went down for 2-3 months, he may not even be on the Brewers. I could be just drunk. So let's drink some more. But if he's on the Brewers, which I think he is, but they want to have him a starting pitcher, but I don't think he's starting pitcher. If I had that arm, he's going to my bullpen, the back end of it. Anyway, we'll see. Jason Dominguez coming off of whatever ACL or Tommy John. I can't remember what happened to him, but he's injured. They say he should be back by June, July, so that'll be a big boost. Chourio, of course, will be there. Ricky Tiedemann has a shot to also be there. So, and Royce Lewis. I forgot to mention him. Another one of those guys that was probably drafted when should not have been. Marcelo Mayer could make it, but only as a timber call-up. But Kroom, you're in 5th place. 4th place, only top 4 now. Preston, the couch pulls out, but you don't. Wow. Best player was your 1st-round draft pick, Wyatt Langford. This guy, absolute stud. Yeah, he hits, and he keeps hitting, and he's got lots of power. This guy has got potential to be a 320, 330 hitter, potentially, and hit 30 to 40 bombs. Sign me up all day for that kind of shit. He's on your Rangers, too, so you're going to love that. So, awesome pick. Best player in your team by far. Worst player, Maximo Acosta, also on the Rangers. He's got some speed, limited power, and now he's not hitting, so kind of says not a good player. One to watch, I mean, this probably would have been my guy last year, Carson Williams. I think he's still 20 years old on the Guardians, but unless he got traded, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, that guy, I think could shoot up a lot more boards. I think I want to say he's around 50, maybe back half of the top 50, but I think he'll be like top 25 potentially after this year. As for guys that are going to help you this year, Langford, Luis Angel Acuna, you got traded to the Mets, and the what was it, the Scherzer, whatever, DeGrom, I don't fucking know what deal it was, one of those deals. Lodolo should start in the majors right away. Gavin Williams, I think, will be back up or be up. James Wood has the potential to be up maybe in September, but we'll see. James Wood's a massive human being, tons of power. I love that guy. But yeah, that's why you're in the fourth, because you have lots of talent all over your system. And now let's get to the top three. There's only 3 teams left out there, so if your name been called, well, you're coming up in these next 5 minutes. And third place, best minor league system, Bingy, Binge. I don't know still how to pronounce your name. You gotta tell me these things. Anyway, your best player, Yamamoto, great arm, fantastic arm. That was your number 1 pick this year. Your worst player, David Schneider. I mean, it's your worst player, but this guy's going to get you stats in the majors as a second baseman for the Blue Jays. And he had a decent showing last year when he got called up. One to watch, Owen Casey on the Cubs. I like this guy's power. He came over, I want to say in the Yu Darvish deal. I could be wrong on that. I don't know if it was Yu Darvish. But he's got good power. As for guys that are going to help your team out this year, it would definitely be easier to name the guys that will not help your team this year. Yamamoto, definitely. Heston Kjerst out in Baltimore, probably. Owen Casey, Cubs, yes. Jace Jung, Detroit, yes. David Schneider, Blue Jays, yes. O'Neal Cruz, Pirates, yes. Logan O'Hoppe, Angels, yes. Kyle Harrison, Giants, yes. Sal Frelick, Brewers, yes. Did I leave anybody off the list? Xavier Isaac, only guy that I don't think will get called up this year in your team, but he's an up-and-comer too. I almost put him as your watch guy. I like that guy a ton. So you have tons of guys that are going to help your ball club out this year, and you have good, solid players. So Bingy, number 3. Top 2. Number 2, Bolt. You had the worst minor league team for so long, and now all of a sudden you have one of the best. You turned it around. Your best player, Jackson Holliday, your first round pick last you trade up to get him, and you were rewarded with a stud player. I mean, the guy is a 5-tool guy. You can do it all. Plays shortstop. I mean, he's going to be an amazing player. He also took Paul Skeens this year, who might be the best pitcher in the minors. So he should be up this year. Awesome pick. Your worst player is Christian Vaccaro. Some guy, I think he's from Cuba, if I recall right, has limited power, like almost no power, and speed's not great either. So I think he's on the Nationals, but I'm just not sold on that guy. One to watch, Cade Horton, pitcher for the Cubs. I think this guy could be one of the top 2 or 3 best pitchers in the minor leagues coming when these lists come out next year. So I think this guy is the one to watch on your team. I love that guy. As for guys that are going to make a difference this year, Skeens, Holiday, I think both are getting called up. Jack Leiter could get called up with the Rangers. Shota Amanga on the Padres, obviously going to start the year in the big, so he's going to help you out right now. So there you have it. Drew Jones probably is one guy I would say that needs to do something this year, because he was drafted too high for you to not do what he's doing. And obviously that leaves number 1, my 2 dads, Matthews. You got, I think, the best farm system out there, and let's see why. Your best player, Evan Carter. I mean, pretty sure he wasn't the World Series MVP. He might have been the NLCS MVP or something crazy, though. But a vital part of that team win the World Series last year. Great player. Your worst player is Fat, the pitcher for the Angels or wherever he pitches for now. I mean, he's a solid player. He's going to help your team out this year. I view him as a back-end rotation guy. I don't think he's ever going to be a front-end rotation guy. One to watch is Andrew Painter. Was amazing when he got first drafted. Fantastic stats. Had Tommy John. Should be back at some point this year. I'm not sure when. But if he's anything like what he was, I mean, this guy could be one of the top pitchers in baseball next year. You've got Bastello, the Orioles catcher. Might not play catcher with Adley there. But I love that guy. Super young, tons of power. Yuki Matsui is going to help your team this year. Kobe Mayo should help your team this year. Jordan Lawler is going to help your team this year. Pico Armstrong is going to help your team this year. You got Bobby Miller, great pick for the Dodgers, going to help your team out this year. Fat Carter, we already mentioned. Colson Montgomery and the White Sox, that team's awful, so they need all the help they can get, so I don't see why they wouldn't call them up. But yeah, you have loads of top 100, top 50 talent even. So that is why your team is the ranked #1 on the TTM minor league rankings. Anyway, I got to get back to drinking, guys, so y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's spring break. Opening season in South Korea is a week away. It fucking sucks because we had to draft so early and someone flew off to another country. We won't mention any names, but yep, y'all enjoy wherever y'all are at, and we'll see you again soon for an MLB draft recap video.